Today we're going to talk about 51 versus 49. 51 versus 49 is perhaps the most important ratio that you can get to know and learn and live and become, because basically 51% of your time is spent in one direction and 49% is spent in a different direction. And you just have to figure out, using our tools, you just have to figure out which direction you're headed at any given time. So 5149 says that if you have 100% of consciousness, you can't just cut it down the middle. One part has to win. And the 51 is the one that always wins. So whatever you do 51% of the time becomes the thing that wins. 49% of the time you're doing like the opposite of the thing that wins. But that never wins because 51% of the time you're doing the thing that wins, whatever that is. And so in deciding what it is that you're going to steer yourself toward in your 51% of your time becomes your consciousness engine. And so if you become conscious of choosing, let's call it the dragon path, the path of no return, the mystery, the adventure. If you get used to bringing yourself to this place 51% of the time, you're going to always win, because eventually what happens on the curve is 49 gets left behind and 51 climbs toward infinity, well, basically toward 100%. It then wins the election, right? So 51% wins the election. And so the election of the leader becomes your most important guiding factor, the most important element of your decision process, your internal decision process, which is completely personalized, on purpose, individuated on purpose. And so the 51% that overcomes the 49%, right? So 51%, right? So if I make a proclamation, a declaration to myself, and I go, 51% of the time I'm going to be conscious of my actions. I'm going to be the observer of my own behavior. 51% of the time. 49% of the time, I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. But 51% of the time, I'm gonna make this conscious effort to become more conscious of my own habits and behavior and patterns. And when you become 51% more conscious of those things, that trajectory takes off in a way that takes you toward 100%, which is a fun place to be, I'll tell you that. And secondly, on top of it being a fun place to be, it's the only way to be. It's the only way to be conscious, continually conscious. Continuous consciousness becomes the way you live your life. So once the 51 they call it the tipping point, right? So it's the tipping point between 49%, which is all this, and then 51%, which is like boom, you know. 51 wins the election, man, and you get to run a whole country. And if you're in America, you get to run a whole world straight into the ground, whatever. You can run into the ground if you want to. The people have elected you, so 51% wins, man. And so what you do with that 51% becomes the only conversation available, because you've already made the decision you're going to be available for 51%. So you need to figure out what you're going to do with your 51%. All right, y'all. Yeah, hit it up in the comments. Do whatever you need to do. 5149. You know, think about it as Fibonacci sequence, man. You know, like that, on that level of stuff. Okay. All right, y'all. Be cool. Peace out. Later.